President, dear colleagues, I must say, listening to the conclusions of the European Council, I am very much struck by the asymmetric way in which the various countries, Belarus, China, Russia and Turkey, have been dealt with. The authorities of these four states are trampling the fundamental freedoms and the very principles of democracy. And at the international level of international law, they're opposing this with the strength of a fait accompli. It's only Lukashenko's regime that has seen sanctions imposed upon it. But even the autocrat himself has been spared those. And in Belarus, we've seen only 2 days ago, the anti-riot police arrested 11 journalists and even a teenager of 13 years old. And then we have China. The heads of state and government have refused even to mention the Uyghur minority, where over 1 million people are in re-education camps. And then Russia, there we've just asked for an investigation into the poisoning of Alexei Navalny, an opponent of Putin's regime. And then Turkey, once again, we're inviting them to dialogue, and we see that reporters, members of academia, human rights activists are regularly object of arrests. I do believe in the virtues of dialogue, but in order to be credible and to be respected, you have to resist and stand up to these people. And when we see that the European Union is so, their will to resist is inversely proportional to the dependence that they have when it comes to their neighbours, trade dependence when it comes to China, energy dependence, Russia, and a dependence when it comes to migration and the right of asylum when it comes to Turkey. We have to find a way of being more autonomous. Relocating our economy would already help, especially in the area of energy transition. And a union that is able to do its fair part in welcoming refugees and migrants would be less vulnerable to the blackmail of potentates to whom we've entrusted the keys to our borders. And some of the recent proposals of the European Commission are not really going to help us move away from this totally unworthy myth of a Europe fortress Europe. Dear colleagues, we really have to take a look at what the European Union is seeing, because if we want to be properly respected outside our borders, because we are trying to be a herald of certain values, then we have to make sure we're doing everything properly at home as well. We've got refugees on the borders of our European Union, so we have to be really careful. It's not only Hungary and Poland that are not properly respecting the rule of law, and we have to be permanently vigilant. So this is, I think, the commitment made by the European Union in the current negotiations on the budget and the recovery plan of the European Union. We want the European Union to have effective instruments to ensure that a simple principle is reflected. That if you want to benefit from belonging to the European Union, you have to respect the foundations of democracy, its values, and this starts with the respect of human dignity of all human beings, present and future human beings here and elsewhere. So we need a more balanced interdependence, an ability to be able to assume our responsibilities and be more consistent with the values that we're proclaiming. And that's the only way we can become more geopolitical as a European Union. We have the rule of unanimity, and this is something that is placing the European Union at the mercy of those the most extreme viewpoints. It's time to...
Thanks.